The WWE Universe is no stranger to chaos, twists, and shocks, but every now and then, a story comes along that completely rattles even the most seasoned fans. This isn't a typical feud or rivalry. This is something far more unsettling, something that reaches deep into the foundations of the WWE itself. It's the story of Jade Cargill, a superstar whose rapid rise to stardom was brutally interrupted by an incident so mysterious, so dark, that it's left fans and insiders with more questions than answers. This is the chilling tale of how Jade Cargill's promising WWE career was derailed by a violent backstage attack and the deeper conspiracy she claims is hiding in plain sight. Jade Cargill entered WWE with a presence that was impossible to ignore. Her striking athleticism, unmatched charisma, and larger-than-life confidence made her an instant sensation. From her very first match, the WWE Universe was captivated. Every time she walked down the ramp, it felt like a moment. Every promo, every stare down, every victory, Jade was building something special. She wasn't just winning matches, she was building a legacy. Fans connected to her power and presence, but also to her story. A bold, confident woman carving her space in a competitive and often unforgiving industry. She wasn't just another star, she was different. She had the it factor. For months, Jade dominated the competition, quickly becoming a fixture on television and live events. Her name began circulating not just as a top female performer, but as a future face of the company. But then, it all stopped. One night, without any warning or build-up, everything changed. That night began like any other. WWE cameras were rolling, the energy was electric, and superstars were moving through the backstage area prepping for their moments in the ring. But as the night progressed, something ominous was quietly taking shape behind the scenes. According to backstage reports, Jade was the victim of a violent, unprovoked attack by an unknown assailant. Witnesses described the scene as chaotic and horrifying. There were screams, security rushed to the scene, but by the time they arrived, the damage had been done. Jade was found later in the parking lot, her body bloodied, bruised, and unresponsive. The shock hit fans like a punch to the gut. How could someone so dominant, so physically powerful, fall victim to such a brutal attack within the so-called safe zone of WWE's backstage environment? Questions began to circulate, but WWE offered no answers. In the immediate aftermath, WWE went eerily silent. There was no official statement. Jade vanished from programming. Commentators didn't acknowledge her absence. Social media accounts linked to the company remained quiet. The fans were left to speculate, confused and concerned. What really happened? Why was the incident being ignored? That's when the rumors began. Some insiders whispered that it wasn't a random act of violence, that it was something far more calculated, that Jade had made enemies, not just in the ring, but behind the scenes. Others pointed out strange irregularities. Security footage from the night was reportedly missing. Some cameras weren't working. Witnesses who were backstage suddenly refused to speak or gave vague accounts that didn't align. And most bizarrely, some of the people closest to the scene were quietly reassigned or no longer seen at events. It didn't take long for speculation to turn into suspicion. Was this a setup? Was someone trying to remove Jade from the picture before she rose too high in the ranks? Could this have been an internal power play? Weeks turned into months. Jade was still gone. No interviews, no tweets, no appearances. For someone who once dominated headlines, her silence was deafening. But what the public didn't know was that Jade wasn't just recovering, she was investigating. Behind the scenes, Jade was digging through every clue she could find. Medical reports, security inconsistencies, text messages. She began connecting dots that painted a disturbing picture of betrayal. What she believed happened that night wasn't just an attack, it was an attempt to erase her from the WWE landscape. Then came the bombshell. In a long-awaited exclusive interview, Jade Cargill finally broke her silence, and what she revealed sent shockwaves through the wrestling world. That night changed everything for me, Jade began. Her voice was calm but heavy with emotion. Not just my body, my soul, my trust, it all cracked that night. I was attacked by someone I should have never had to fear, someone within our world. She described how she was ambushed in a hallway near the loading dock, how the area, usually bustling with staff and security, was strangely quiet that night, how she was left lying there, bleeding, for far too long before help arrived. It wasn't just an attack, she said, it was a message. Jade revealed that prior to the attack, she had been vocal about backstage concerns, questioning certain decisions, challenging internal structures, and refusing to conform. She believes this made her a target, not just a threat to someone's spot, but to a system that resists change. As she spoke, the gravity of her words echoed throughout the wrestling world. "People didn't want me to succeed," she explained, "not because I wasn't good enough, but because I didn't play the game the way they wanted." She alleged that key figures within the company had turned a blind eye to growing tensions backstage, that some even helped cover up the aftermath. Jade's claims included tampered security footage, deliberately erased logs, and conversations that mysteriously disappeared. Her conclusion? That her attack was a calculated hit job, a backstage conspiracy designed to eliminate a rising star before she became too powerful. The response was immediate and explosive. Fans flooded social media with hashtags like #JusticeForJade and #WWETellTheTruth. Fellow wrestlers began speaking out, sharing stories of their own strange backstage encounters, and demanding change. Some executives called for internal reviews, while others downplayed the incident, labeling Jade's claims as exaggerated. But the damage was done. The trust between fans and WWE's management began to crack. If Jade, one of the most physically dominant athletes in the company, could be silenced so easily, who else was at risk? Some insiders suggested that the entire company culture needed an overhaul, that Jade's story wasn't a one-off, but a symptom of deeper, more systemic problems within WWE. Whispers turned into conversations, conversations turned into movement. As Jade continued her media appearances, she emphasized that her goal wasn't revenge, but reform. "I don't want this to happen to anyone else," she said. "WWE is more than just a company, it's a family, but families protect each other. They don't sacrifice each other to keep secrets hidden." Her bravery began inspiring others, wrestlers, staff, even former talents who had left WWE under mysterious circumstances began to speak up. The company could no longer hide behind vague statements or silence. In response to mounting pressure, WWE finally issued a statement promising a comprehensive internal review into the events surrounding Jade Cargill's backstage incident, but many saw this as too little, too late. Wrestling analysts, historians, and even former executives began to weigh in. One historian remarked, "This isn't just about one woman being attacked, it's about what that attack symbolizes, it's about the culture that allowed it to happen." A former WWE executive added, "The moment Jade came forward, everything changed. She's forcing the company to confront things it's ignored for far too long." Some speculated that Jade's revelations could trigger a major shakeup within the company, especially if more details come to light. If there really were internal conspiracies at play, the fallout could be massive. For now, Jade Cargill continues her recovery, but more importantly, she continues to speak, and fans continue to listen. She ended her interview with one final message: "They tried to silence me, but now, I'm louder than ever." The story of Jade Cargill isn't over. In fact, it may just be beginning. The push for accountability, the demand for transparency, and the fight to protect talent from internal sabotage, all of it is gathering momentum. WWE has long thrived on spectacle, but now, it faces something even more powerful than pyrotechnics or promos: a movement for truth. And now we ask you, the WWE Universe, what do you believe happened that night? Who do you think was behind the attack on Jade Cargill? And most importantly, do you believe WWE will ever truly change? Let us know in the comments. Stay tuned for more updates, because the world of professional wrestling just got a whole lot more real. Suplex Saga will be following every turn in this incredible story.